Welcome back to Veteran Revivals. I'm Art, your veteran idiot. This is Earl. We're getting prepared for the Hot Rod Power Tour coming up. I got some odds and ends I need to fix up on this guy, and we also need to get the trailer squared away. Just looks old. It's in great condition, it just looks old. I'm gonna throw some new paint on it and we'll get it all hooked up with maybe some stain on the bed and stuff like that. I also got a bunch of parts I want to throw on this guy, but I need to unload all this crap first. So no time like the present. I'm gonna get this crap off here and then we'll get started. I should pick that up. That wasn't so bad. I am going to take this thing around the block, blow off all this hay, because I don't like fire hazards, and neither does my shop. Whew, it is warm in here. Good golly. She's a good girl. Earl. He's a good boy. No, girl sounds better, but the boy's name Erlina? Forget it. Alright, so the bed's all cleaned off, got myself a soda pop, and since it's 100 degrees outside, I figured why not get a 700 degree breakfast burrito. I'm gonna eat that in about 25 minutes when it cools down. Probably not helping, we're just keeping it warm. Anyways, we got a bunch of parts we need to throw on this truck. I got a new windshield wiper pump, a washer fluid pump if you want to call it that. I'm losing all my pieces. Door locks for the whole truck, and nozzles, as well as a striker plate for the inside of this door. Doesn't really help us with the latch. The latch is wore out. Too expensive at this point to get another one. We'll have to try and make it work for this trip. And I also got some insulation sound deadening for the roof, because this roof gets really hot. It is super hot in the sun. So I'm gonna try and slow down some of that radiation down into the cab. That just literally bakes you half to death. But before we get started on all of that, let me introduce you to today's sponsor for this video. Today's sponsor is V-Diag Tool, and this is their V500 Pro. Literally does everything. It's multimeter, injector tester, circuit tester, and loose wire tester. It's got the little microphone on one end where you can see where the wire is you're looking for in the back, up in the front. I can't tell you how many times I needed this, especially with Scrappy when I was rewiring that entire thing. But this thing is awesome. Let me break it out and show it to you. So it comes with this cool hard case, which is great. A lot of stuff comes in soft cases today, and it never holds up. Comes with a microphone for looking for that wire, as well as any connectors that you possibly need for anything at all. Alligator clips, needles, USB connectors, everything comes in this tool. All your probes are gonna fit in the top here, all your different connections. You can set it up to just a probe, like a power probe, check resistors, multimeter, oscilloscope, which is great for these older trucks and older cars and stuff like that. 0 to 5 volt components, relays, injectors. I really needed this when I was messing with Scrappy. Can't even explain how much time this would have actually saved me. It's a really cool device. Go ahead and check it out. I'll put the link in the description down below. You can also check it out on Amazon, where you can use my code VETER500PRO and get a discount on this bad dog right here. I'm telling you, if you don't have one, you need one. Okay, now back to the fun. I'm gonna pop the hood so it'll cool down in there, and we'll start working on the roof. I'm gonna clean out the inside while this cools down so we can put that washer fluid pump in there. So, cool story. The arm linkage for that door over there popped off of the handle, so it doesn't open anymore. That's cool. I guess we'll figure that out too. So what I need to do is I'm going to get some cleaner, and I'm going to wipe down the inside of this entire thing here. I got two 4 square foot sheets And so we'll cut them to fit in here, and it should get all of this, or the majority of it, or at least just the portion that is directly over us. Try and calm down some of that heat. And then a headliner, once we eventually get one, will fit over the top of it. But let's go ahead and clean this up so we can start sticking and cutting. Cutting and sticking. You know what I meant. Also, side note, this burrito has been sitting for about 10 minutes now, and it's still 11,500 degrees. I don't know if that's good or bad, but it smells good. Sweet baby. Wow. Whoa, say, can you see? By the, oh man, I should have got some ventilation in here first. I am going to be, let's just say, high.
I'm just really high.
I don't know if that was the right term or not, but whew, Mother of Jehovah. Let's clean that side over there. All right, I stepped out and got a breath, fresh air, and oh, it's still strong in here. Okay, I'm gonna let it air out just a little bit longer, and then we'll start sizing this up. So this stuff is from LMC. It's not Dynamat. A lot cheaper, so we're gonna see exactly how well it works. But my thoughts are, if we can cut it in half, we can get 2 sections out of it, and I think that'll do. Let me do some measurements. Do some measurements and see exactly where we're at. So we are about 18 inches wide. Yeah, it's pretty similar all the way down. And then if we go to the curve, roughly 50, we'll call it 58 inches. What do we got here? We are 28 inches. Okay, so that'll get us 56. That should be good enough that way. Are we wide enough this way? 24. Ah, we're like 6 inches short. What would 12 get us? Right there. That's pretty good. I mean, that's about as good as we're gonna get, actually. Maybe we can get the other half out of this one. Now, that's gonna be 12 inches that way. Okay, we'll just cut it in half, directly in half on both sides, and they'll both fit in without any other cutting. So, I mean, that's the best we can do with it there. And then later we can get some more strips, but I think that covers about 95% of the entire roof, which should help tremendously. Let's find the center line here. 14 1/4, 7 1/8. Right there. Man, that's an ab workout. Tell you what. Shoot, drop my cane. Okay, got it. Found it. Hey, chill out, bro. Take it easy. All right, I'm gonna do the hardest ab crunch on the face of the planet. Sorry if I'm breathing heavy in the microphone. That steak burrito, it's a good one. I'll give it that. I'm almost full nap mode already. Okay, that's a little bit off. Okay, abs engage. All right, let me figure out how I'm gonna roll this thing because I didn't get the roller. Idiot! Oh man, that was a good ab workout. Not even mad. All right, let me roll this out. And I am glad to get out of that cab. Even with the swamp cooler, it's just stagnant, humid air inside the cab. It's not blowing past you, cooling it at all. So glad to be done inside there. It looks really good. I think it'll help a lot. All we got to do is get a strip down this backside whenever we order up some more. I think that'll help a bunch. This is just a shadow from the steering wheel, but man, it was, I will give it, it was easier than I thought it was going to be. It was just hot and sweaty in there from the swamp cooler not blowing past it. That's about it. So let's get this windshield washer fluid pump installed and get some fluid in it and see how well it squirts, because I need that squirtage if we're going to the Midwest. Is it still the Midwest if it's Indiana, Illinois, and Michigan, and Ohio? Let me know. I'm from the West, boy. I think that's how they do it. Tupac told me. So this is what we're working with here. Fairly certain that this is the washer fluid clip. So we've got a fancy new diagnostic tool. We can figure that out very quickly. But this is the bag that I put on personally. We've got a nozzle to go in here, and then this hose will go to that, goes around, and then there'll be a T-junction that clips right here and goes to each one of those nozzles with its own hose. And then this pump, we just need to find a place to put it because I have placed the fuel pump where it originally went. So maybe we'll go over on this side and then across. Nozzle, nozzle, you're my little nozzle, nozzle, ooh, ooh. Just like, yeah, get a burrito out of the way. And this one goes in the top of the bag, and I'm gonna have to put some of this hose down to the bottom here, but essentially it goes just like this. Boop, bam, beautiful, so good, the best. I think the top one's a breather, question mark, that's what I'm guessing. I don't know why there would be a top one on there. Come on, stay in there, come on. Wow. These are not going to stay in. That's okay though. That's all right. Don't freak out. So we'll put it right here. Just like, yeah. And that should do the trick. Yeah. Okay, good. All right. Okay. Drill some holes. Put a bolt and marker. There we go. Tight. Make it look nice and pretty. Keep it away from that manifold. Fill this bad boy up with the bug juice. All right, that side is done. Now, let's run it from the bottom of here all the way around. I already have a hose, but I'm not sure if it's big enough to fit on here. It is, sweet. So that's already done. We're good to go there. So we'll zip tie it to things, plug it right in. I gotta cut the end of this off because it is nasty. Hook power up to this pump real quick. Might have to prime this guy. Prime it! Ooh, ooh! Primer up. So once again, this little guy came in clutch. Was able to work everything out. The wire that I had out here was the wire that I needed for the pump. However, the switch is just tricky. It's wore out. Probably hasn't been used in a gazillion years, and so you got to kind of pull it a couple times till it makes good contact. Maybe that'll clean up and it'll work better. But everything is run. We got our pump in here. I just need to clean up and run that power wire back. But it pulls and it squirts. And I'll show you what I mean. There it goes. Little squirty squirt. Some of the nozzles need cleaned out, but it's just the switch is touchy. So there, it's not going. Just needs cleaned up. The contacts are a little funky. But that'll work good enough to clean everything off. I need to get some new blades, unfortunately. They are not doing much. Yep. Alright, one more thing. Checked off. Let's get these door locks fixed. So I left this panel open on purpose on the inside of the door so I could get this out. I got some new locks and gaskets for the locks. The key just doesn't work very well on this lock. It's kind of wore down. And so it'll lock well, but then unlocking is not so easy. This is working perfectly right now. That's alright, we're gonna replace it anyways. So it came with 3, one for each door and one for the ignition itself, and 3 keys, which is nice. Go ahead and replace all these guys. Guy. Hey guy, know what I'm saying, guy? Okay, that's cheesy. Relax. Okay, so this should be a really easy fix. It's just a clip there, and we'll take it off on this side of the pin, and then it's just this clip here that holds it in place. Go ahead, swap it out, get her done. Know what I mean? Ooh, girl. Drop me like an electric eel. Oh, spicy. Okay, that was really easy. Kind of scary, actually. Clean that up a little bit. There we go. In you go. Pop in the new retainer. Wow. We get the big dog out. All right, there we go. Swapped out, clipped back in. That was probably the easiest thing that I've ever done on this truck. That clip didn't really want to go in there, but it is tight. Tight. Good to go. Let's try one of these keys. Locked. Bam. Unlocked. Bam. Sweet. Like it. Love it. Want some more of it. Try so hard. You know the rest. Next door. Sweet. All lock cylinders are changed out. And the striker plate door closes a lot better. I'm not sure why. Maybe I just got the perfect combination putting it back on. But at least I don't have to listen to that rattling anymore with that spring and plastic slider broken. So my next parlor trick is going to be swapping out this ignition cylinder, which will be interesting because I'm not sure exactly how it comes out. I think just a needle goes down the center here and it pops it out. That's what we're going with. I'm assuming anyways. I'm going to look it up real quick.
Take me into your loving arms.
So it says we're going to put the key in, turn it to accessory. This key doesn't lock in, by the way. And then we're going to feed a wire through this hole, depress the clip, and slide it out. I got a needle. I don't know if that's going to work. Let's give it a try anywho. There it goes. Wow. All right. Cool. That was it. Wow. Super simple. And the keys now lock in. Well, that is just the coolest thing ever in the history of ever. Cool. All the locks are changed. Ignition cylinders changed. That was pretty easy compared to all the stuff that we've been doing on here and struggling and fighting and scratching and just I think that was the last thing that we needed to do on this truck, was to change out those locks. I think everything else is good to go, which is exciting. Got about 2 weeks to the, or 10 days or so by the time you guys see this video, until the Hot Rod Power Tour. If you are interested in hanging out, I am down. We're going to be kind of all over the place, but we will show up to every single venue. We're doing the long haul, so we will be at Indianapolis, we will be at Joliet. We will then go to Fort Wayne and Monroe and then down to Sandusky, Ohio. We won't be in Sandusky for very long. We're gonna drop in, stamp, say hi to everybody, wander around, and then we are going to split after that. We got a long 27-hour drive home, and I got stuff I gotta do immediately following this event. So if you see me out there, don't hesitate, come up, say hi, and we'll have a good time. So now I need to hook this thing up to the trailer because we got to get that bed off the trailer. We're going to run that over the shop, take it off with the forklift, and throw it on Colonel Sherbert. There's still a chance we may short bed convert Oscar. There may be one kid out there that will save us a whole bunch of time and still work with the 6-inch frame or the 8700 GVW. So that may still happen, but for now we're going to put the short bed. We're just going to rest it on Colonel Sherbert, free up the trailer so I can start grinding away and cleaning all the paint off of that thing. Well, it didn't go quite as anticipated. There's Rusty from the second episode. It's used to be a vice grip garage truck. The engine was seized on and he got it turned over and running and driving. We bought it, picked it up in Tennessee at his place, and then brought it all the way back to Arizona. Fixed the brakes, got the drivetrain all working now. It runs and drives down the highway. It's a little scary because that cab is barely hanging on. But it's probably one of the most reliable vehicles in the entire fleet. Didn't throw the bed on Colonel Sherbert. This is Colonel Sherbert, 3/4 ton, short bed conversion. We were gonna throw the bed on here just to have it sit, but there's not enough room. This rail's in the way, and I don't want to hit the Chevelle. So we ended up just throwing it on K10. Is that what it is? Yeah. Frame that we had sitting out here. Now it's time to go home. Oh, hey. More on this later. Not so good news. What? All right, we're back. Time to start cranking on this thing and start wire wheeling the paint off of it, and just burn the midnight oil, try and get it all cleaned up, and then we'll start throwing some 415 on tomorrow after we clean it off. Welcome back to 2 days later. It's finally sanded and the boards are leveled. It was a colossal pain in the rear end to get this thing sanded down. The paint's really, really thick, and I didn't want to get it all the way down to bare metal. My experience with 415 is that it sticks better when it has something to stick to, and so went over it with a flat disc, 80 grit, over the entire thing to knock the rust off, knock any scratches, everything down, paint chips, get it nice and leveled. And then I went around with a DA 100 grit to knock down the grooves from the flap disc, and I think that'll give it enough grip for this 415 to stick to and be good. I did a test strip over here. It is impossible to scrape off. If you're not familiar with 415, it's basically powder coat in a can without the powder and the heat. So we're gonna go ahead and smear it on this side, and then we'll spin the trailer around that side, can bake in the sun, and then we'll do that side over there, over here in the shade with the swamp cooler, because it's 1 billion degrees outside. That thing helps a lot, by the way. I'd be probably passed out on the ground right there if it wasn't there. One thing that should be mentioned about 415 is that Stephen Tackett's House of Horsepower tells you to use gloves because it gets everywhere and it doesn't come off. This is from like 3 drops on one hand and try and wash my hands and stuff like that. I don't have any gloves with me, and I was like, you know what, I'll just keep it off my hands, we'll be good to go. Swap. And it does not come up. It's gonna be like this for a while. Mineral spirits, paint thinner, nothing takes it off. Lots of scrubbing and sloughing of skins. Go buy some gloves. Well, there you have it. She's all done. She's about a 10-foot trailer. Any closer than 10 feet, you're gonna be like, wow, there's a lot of streaks on there. But I think it looks really good. It turned out nicely, especially considering there was a dust storm every single time I would put on a coat, so it's got a little grip. It's kind of like grip tape, so you're not slipping on this bad boy in the rain. Not on purpose, but it works out. Also, with the wood, all I did was throw down some old engine oil and ATF, type F to be exact, but it gives it a nice stain, and this wood was so dried out. Probably has nothing to do with this guy here. This oil on here will be perfect for it. It'll soak into the wood and be nice and good, not slippery or anything. So it looks good, easy to do, and you get rid of about a gallon of old engine oil. Put on some new reflectors, Put everything back together on the front. New tires, new brakes. Perfect, 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 perfect. And then I took some rubberized coating and sprayed it inside the fender wells just for a finishing touch. Good to go on that side. So Earl is ready to go on the trip. Trailer is ready to go. Excited. It's gonna be a fun little trip. Pulled up here to get a nice photo shoot for the cover, and pulled up next to this giant pile of trash somebody was gracious enough to dump on state land. Don't do that, guys. That is a, shall we call it, a douchebaggery thing to do. But anywho, I'm ready to go. Been a fun little prep for the Hot Rod Power Tour, and I hope to see some of you guys out there. Next video is gonna be something with Scrappy, and it's very, very unfortunate. It doesn't look good. So make sure you tune into that one, and hopefully it's not bad. I think it's bad though. I think it's real bad. But we'll see. Anywho, check out the merchandise. Make sure you go over to veteranrevivals.com. Check out all that stuff, and then check out V-Diag tools and the V500 Pro. I think it's a pretty cool little tool. Anywho, thanks for watching, and as always, have fun.